He's got the insights like a digital magician, unveiling secrets of the blockchain with precision. Stories from the
Good morning, guys. Mega GMs. You know, we're on a pretty cool streak here with the Swarm Report, with like awesome guests, including, I hope you guys caught, but a Saturday edition of the Swarm Report this weekend with the Stratos guys. I got to say this. I got to give Cons here some flowers. Okay, we've been talking a lot to the like Genesis projects, these new launches on virtuals. We love them. But man, it's like the OGs that help make the foundation of this space. And especially when I can get guys like this on to talk about how things were and compare it to how things are going. Extra special for me. And I'll say this too, Cons behind Acolyt and Signal. One of the first guys I was following in the virtuals ecosystem, one of the guys I actually learned a lot from early on too, just because knowledgeable and building and all these things. I'll stop gushing, but just to say I'm really excited for today's chat here. Cons, welcome, dude. Like, good morning, and I would love if you could introduce yourself to the gang here and tell them what you're building.
Yeah, thanks, man. Good morning, Jim, to everyone. Yeah, it's been a pleasure seeing your content as well. So thanks for having me. Thanks for giving me the time to share a little bit more about what we're building. Man, just quick intro. I've been building in like Web3 since 2021. But before that, just being like an investor, like Bitcoin and stuff like that since 2018. And before that, had my own like software house for tech companies. So building games and building apps for startups and stuff like that. But then got into marketing and basically never left because I saw the opportunity of building a marketing company that worked well with fintech products. So basically like a product-led growth approach. So you kind of like find ways within a product and tag like the every single step that a person takes within the product, and then you can like direct ads or content for that specific person, like email marketing, all that automation that you do. So been doing this for many years, and then we launched Acolyt, which is now this agentic social media for now, but the future will be like a fully agentic marketing. Because I was doing this for my own company before, and I was like, okay, let's just use this to create a product that sells this to other people. Because honestly, I don't know if you worked with like agencies or stuff like that, but using like being a service is very hard to scale, and you gotta go to meetings all the time and like deal with a few clients. It's very it's not that fun, honestly, after a while. So I always wanted to build products, like just have like a tech team and developers and product leads and stuff like that. And I'm living the dream, and like that was a huge opportunity for me to launch my own agent, which is this software company. And I was able to do that with virtual, so I'm very grateful. Cannot complain at all. And it's still very early days, honestly. Like we have agentic tech already running it, but still very early. So we can go through and see you're sharing your screen with Acolyt posts, and this is fully agentic already. Like he's creating for example, this GM post. It's he's plugged into the ChatGPT image generator, so he generates the prompt by himself, goes to ChatGPT, asks for the image, and then posts everything by himself. So he already can do this agentic stuff, defining based on algorithm that what works on X for his niche, and that's only going to grow and make it easier and better over time, right? Like I just posted something that he's farming apps by himself, so now he's farming virgin points all by himself. I don't need to do anything, right? So
that's crazy.
Yeah, it's pretty cool, and his content's getting better. He's getting more humanized over time because he's trained on X data from top KOLs. So he's looking more human over time as well. So it's just like amazing to be building this technology that will replace a lot of things that we do nowadays in like a few years. So yeah.
Well, it's cool.
Thanks for the time. Yeah.
Well, it's just so neat because, okay, if you're already doing marketing stuff before and now you get to take that, but bring it to like the cutting edge of where tech is right now, which is AI and more recently the agentic part of it. Was Acolyt first off your first agent? And by the way, he was born like really early in the meta, right? I think it was
like
Truth Terminal.
6 months ago.
So like one of the OG agents out here, and that's again what I remember him from, and one of the early ones out of the few that you could even pay attention to, and he was one. So like in the world of marketing, was Acolyt your first venture into like using AI powered tools to help market, or was there already stuff behind the scenes already happening on the AI front?
So when ChatGPT launched, I think that was 2022. I just started using a lot. Like I was like, oh my god, this is my dream coming true. Like for real. Like I was like, oh my god, how can I replace my own work? I was looking to do that. I actually started my career. I'm 32 nowadays. Like I'm old in crypto.
I got you beat,
timeline, you know. Okay. You look good though. I like the beard. I like the beard. I'm following you there.
Thank you.
But I started like I was 16, 17. I was designing logos for companies and designing like websites for companies. And I always thought to myself, oh my god, this work can be replaced by a robot. I didn't think like AI, but I think like this can be replaced by a bot of some sort, like getting references and assembling that and giving to the client, and the client gives feedback. I was like always looking to that. That's when I started to look into more tech things to replace myself and to build stuff that will replace myself. That was my whole idea, my whole life, just naturally, I think.
So many people are scared of that because who wants to be replaced? But I like guys like you who are looking for that. Like what? Because you replace yourself, it means you now are freed up to do even more and do better.
Exactly. I'm the owner of the thing that replaced myself.
Yeah.
So that's perfect, you know.
Yeah.
So I can free my time to do things that I actually like to do instead of just things that can be repeated and automated, you know.
Smart man.
So I got into first design, and then I got into marketing. And once ChatGPT launched, and it was not agentic, was just like, okay, give me images, give me copywriting ideas, give me new idea for businesses, stuff like that. So I started to replace copywriting and also filter out KOLs that we would hire in the agency. So we're like kind of starting to use tools, AI tools, to replace designs and copywriting and negotiating with KOLs. That was basically it. But then when agents come along, we started to use Crew AI and NA10 and some early agentic tooling to do like mostly copywriting for us. Honestly, like we handle a lot of companies, like we did Mythical Games, Pudge Party, we worked with them for a while.
Oh wow, what did you do with those guys?
So Mythical Games, we helped them launch the Mythical Forest, which was like a points system back in the day. Like it wasn't like it was before Kaito. It was like a year ago or something. We helped them launch this farming thing that you get points and then you get like myth airdrops. We did stuff with OKX as well. It's like a community for Latam, and then kind of like a Solana super team, but for OKX. So we did some stuff like that. Worked with like some stablecoin companies like Rails and some other ones, like LimeWire as well was a client. So I was doing like this for a while, but that's a service, right? You go to calls, meetings, and then just do the work. But then I looked at virtual. I was like, okay, let me release this, and it picked up way more than I thought it would. Like we went to like $70 million market cap.
Wow!
And then we were able to raise like $1 million, right? So we have more than $1 million now, even though we do have like spend with the salaries from the team. Which right now we have like 12 people on the team, 13 people on the team.
Jeez.
Like 7 developers. Like we're already making money because what we did was, and that's a first, by the way. I didn't publicly say this, so this is like kind of alpha, but that's cool to share. Because what we have now is we have we're calling it Signal, which is the framework that Acolyt uses. But there is you based on revenue, we buy back Acolyt. So there's like a financial return on that. But Signal is this agentic marketing platform, right? So we have clients like Ronnie, for example. We are creating Jihos with Jihos, which is the founder of Ronnie. We have Semi, the AI influencer Semi.if. We're creating a new KOL with him using our technology.
I saw some hints about that on the timeline, and I wasn't sure what he was referencing. Now I got it. Okay, that's very cool.
Yeah, so it's gonna be like we're not gonna say to anyone which the KOL. Like we're just gonna share. Like our goal is to create a KOL that is fully agentic, but everyone thinks is a human.
Wow.
That's the idea. And then we're going to say to the public, oh, this was actually agentic.
So how would that work? Would the Sammy account all of a sudden stop being human posts and it's going to be these agent
No. It's going to be a full new account from scratch. And then we're going to say to the people later that we're involved in that specific accounts because he's going to be like fully automated, but replacing actual Sammy's posting. Like our idea is to understand fully Semi personality and Semi style of post. It does very deep research and replace that with our own technology. So that's going to be live in a few weeks. But so we have Signal, which is a framework, and people we have clients for that already. So people pay for that, and they have access to this agentic social media tooling. But it's still early days, like alpha. We like joined the wait list. It's not like public yet. We're gonna release that. I believe in a couple months, like anyone will be able to just pay for it. Our goal is to pay like $500 a month, and you have your agentic social media. But there will be tiers and stuff like that because they're X API. It's kind of expensive, and you can talk more about that because now we have access to like a free version of the enterprise directly from Virtuals, by the way, which is amazing because it's like $42K a month, so it's crazy. But at the same time, we have this software house, which is an AI software house. So what happens is companies come to us and they start like, oh, I want AI marketing. I want agentic marketing. And we're like, okay, let's create this agent with you. But they need more stuff with agentic tech, and they don't have the knowledge, don't have like they need to hire developers, maybe train developers that know agentic or AI are very expensive nowadays. So what we do is we also help them to build more agentic stuff within their company. And that percentage of revenue also comes into buyback Acolyte. So now we have this company that is a platform, agentic social media or agentic marketing platform, but also a software house that builds agents to other companies. And a percentage of that also goes to Acolyte. So it's expanding a little bit. It's becoming this way that we can do very like bigger contracts, not 500K, not 500, not 2000. Like a software house maybe charge you. We just closed a client that is 20K a month to build their agent, right? So, but it's very specific. They can even trade on chain and stuff like that. But a percentage of that again goes as revenue to Signal. So it's becoming like a larger business very quickly, and yeah, that's it.
It's so cool because like a lot of what you said was like, okay, a lot of us had this like dream and fantasy about NFTs, and NFTs are a way to like be a part of a company and share in some of the revenue and just be part of that, kind of whole process. And we're doing that now through fungible tokens, right? It is as you're building your business and as you're buying back token, it's effectively the same thing. Looks a little different than we were picturing, but it's doing it kind of the same thing there, which I think is super interesting. Okay, I gotta ask then. Everybody, well, maybe not everybody, but most people want to be a KOL, right? And are trying to learn the ropes. It's not easy. There's like there's a flow to it. There's an art to it. There's so much to it, and it sounds like you've cracked that code using agents, like automating it through fine tuning and all this, whatever you're putting into, you seem to have figured it out. But at the same time, you now have like an audience out here who they can mostly sense when something is generated by AI. And a lot of people are turned off by that. That's got to be a constant battle for you. And I think you're ahead of it too, by the way, because when I've read of Acolyte's posts and I'm curious with some of these others coming out, they do sound more natural. But what does that fight look like to stay ahead of that what do we, I don't know what we even call that, like this pushback people have against the agent posts? What, like, how do you fight that, and how do you get better to where it sounds so natural?
Yeah, so it's not as hard as people think, because So let's take the main one right now in crypto, which is AI XBT, right? XBT, people love him.
Yeah.
Like people who love him, and everybody knows he's an agent, and still like people really like him. And I'm gonna take a quote from ICO Beast. He mentioned this because there was an airdrop of Laudio recently, and IXBT was one of the top Laudio rankings, and he's also up there on the yaps. He's also like number 1, 2, 3
Crushing.
on every single yap, right?
Yep.
And Laudio guys actually removed him from the airdrop because he's an agent. And Kaito did the same thing.
That's
They
right.
removed the XBT from the airdrop because it was like a community voting. So people said that AIXBT should have, like, AI agents should have their own leaderboard because it's unfair. And I agree.
Do you
it's
agree?
Unfair.
Okay. Yeah.
I agree. It's unfair, of course. But at the same time, ICOBs mentioned like, and if you go to the tweet from Laudio, I don't know if you're gonna find it because it's a while ago. You're probably not gonna find it. But anyway, the CEO mentioned, "Oh, we are removing XBT from the leaderboards," and people in the comments said, "Actually, why are you doing this? Like, he's commenting is very high level. The problem is not that he's AI. The problem is the slop. So a lot of people are real accounts, but they use AI to generate a lot of content,
Right.
and they just use ChatGPT and it looks very dumb. It does not look good. So people don't care if it's AI or not. They care if the content is good or not, if it's relevant or not, if the reply has full context, if the reply actually brings value. That's the truth. Like, in few months time, like in 6 months, 1 year, 2 years, it's not gonna matter if you're AI. Everyone's gonna be using AI. So, but if you use the right way, if you only like copy and paste from ChatGPT, it's gonna look AI. But if you have a tool that understand the full context, that have like memory, that has been trained with fine tuning and has the good data sources to give you in real time information about things that matter, people are not gonna care at all. Like they actually don't care. What they don't like is chatbots that they look repetitive and they add no value. But if you cannot recognize, which is it's kind of hard to build for sure. That's why it's taking us like 3 to 4 months to build this, and we're gonna keep improving. But it's getting easier, faster because ChatGPT is getting better. Claude is getting better. Like, there's so much competition. Grok is getting better. Every single AI huge company is working on this. So it's getting easier for us because we use Open Router, which is basically we can select the LLM that makes more sense in for that specific feature. So for example, we are using Claude 4.0, which is the new release, to actually write the text at the end because he's very good at that. But to actually get the data, we use Gwen because it's way cheaper and faster. So you can use different LLMs for specific things, so you look more human. For example,
Which
to
one is
train
Quen?
him,
I'm trying to remember. Is that the Alibaba
it's
one?
the Chinese. Yeah. It's that's the Chinese
Okay.
one, but it's very cheap and it's so to gather data, to monitor data is very good. But then for the output is very bad because it looks very AI-ish. But Claude 4.0 is amazing. Like, it actually looks like a human because we add data from X top KOLs from that specific niche. So Acolyt, for example, he's trained on ICO Beast style, even like the Virtuous Founders style, my style. So he's trained on a lot of different data sets, the way you speak, and then you need to put some guardrails for him to not do AI stuff. Because there are some things that people recognize when it's AI, because
It's like
it's repetitive,
double hyphen,
double hyphen and stuff like that. So we remove that stuff.
Smart.
And then it's way easier, and it's becoming more and more easier to replace that. And just to finish the thought, that's not only for X, but also for TikTok and Instagram and LinkedIn and stuff like that. Like, if you look at those AI accounts, I don't know if you follow those, but I love seeing the AI content because, of course, I'm working on AI, but nowadays my Instagram is like full AI video content because it's amazing, and it's getting better so fast. So we are already doing that as well. We have a few dark channels that we try a few things, and that's another thing. But we have like channels that use IPs. Like it's not directly to Signal, but just for testing the VO3 from Google and testing new features and new software updates from those huge companies. And how can we add that to Acolyte as fast as possible?
Oh man, I have so many thoughts. First off, VO3 is incredible. I'm like you. I enjoy AI content. I go down YouTube rabbit holes, and I've done this for a while. Like, there's some videos I've watched that even if it didn't look or sound human, the information it's giving me was good enough that I was in it. Like, I was in it and listening, and maybe it's just a news feed, but I'm enjoying it. It's like it's actually
Yes.
helping me. And it's only after a few minutes, and I'm, again, I'm paying a little more attention. I'm like, oh shit, this is AI, but I'm like, I don't care. I'll keep listening to this because it actually is giving me live, updated info. It works.
Yeah.
And then when you throw VO3 in the mix, and it now looks real and it looks engaging, and it's got a little more emotional pull on you. Look out, this stuff is going to be it's going to be what Andrew Steinwald told me a few years back. Like, he's such a big brain, and he sees years down the road. And a few years ago, I had him on at that time a CryptoSlam podcast, and he said, "Hey, we're going to get to the point where influencers are replaced by AI." And back then, I didn't see it. I didn't see it at all. And finally, like a year ago, and it was before like the agent thing exploded, but finally it clicked because of like the rougher kind of stuff, like those YouTube videos. Like, I saw him, and again, cause I realized I was listening to him. I'm like, oh my God, he was right. He was right. And maybe it's not everyone's gonna be replaced, but like 50-50, whatever the ratio is, it's going to happen, and we're gonna love it too. And there'll always be a
Yes.
need for humans too, but like, we're gonna love this AI content. But like, okay, as you were talking to me about like AI XBT and getting disqualified from like Laudio, I was probably on board with disqualifying that agent, and I think I've just flipped here, kind of on the spot. Also because, look, for the past couple of weeks here in the virtuals ecosystem, people farming the virtuals yaps and people farming the Vader yaps. I got to say, I get it. I like incentivizing people to talk about the product. I like all that, but man, all my replies, I could tell it's somebody running my tweet through ChatGPT and telling it to either like just remix my tweet and spit it back at me, or like write a reply. All of my replies are all AI generated, and they're 1% as good as an AI XBT reply. So if it's all going to be AI replies anyways, give me the good shit and let's reward the good stuff. Like, let's reward AI XBT with whatever, the pot is. So I don't know, man. I think at this point, if I were voting on something to not ban an agent from these rewards, I say give it to them. Push that, like, incentivize other people to do that well and catch up too.
Yeah, I think the main thing is not to ban AI or non-AI. I think is to ban poor quality content or let high quality content go through, because I always see this, like I can easily recognize when it's AI or not. Or not call it AI, but call it ChatGPT reply, or like a poorly made reply. Even like if it's a real person and he replies something that you kind of see, oh, maybe this is like a person, but it's low quality stuff. Like, why would he gain something?
Yeah.
It's so easily replaceable. But what we can do with agents is that we're already doing, by the way. We're categorizing KOLs and people to interact with. So what Acolyte does is that he is able to check all of your tweets all time, and then craft a reply that is contextualized to what you like, and for you to understand, like, okay, he's actually saying something that is relevant for me on this reply. So a human being is very hard to do that with many accounts. Like when I reply to ICO Beast, for example, or Ghost or Sage, like I reply with Con's memory of for all everything that we talk to on Telegram and on X and on our calls and stuff, like on via DMs. So when I reply, they know it's me, and I say something that is not fully directed to the post itself, but all the context from past things that happen on X, everything, historical moments, and everything that we spent together. So he's like, oh, okay, I got you. That's cons, because he wouldn't know that, because if it's AI, he's just gonna get that text, So what we can do with agents is this: he can get the full memory and full information from past interactions, on DMs, on everything that you posted about him, all the time, everything that you post about anything in your timeline and replies. So over time, he gets smarter and smarter, and that will be a way that which kind of looks like a XPT, which is he knows everything about you, and he's gonna talk to you in a very personal tone. That you're gonna be like, "Holy shit, is this an agent or not?" You know,
It's
that's
so
gonna
cool.
be what's gonna happen in the few next months. Yeah.
So your account, is your account you, or is that AI, or can you even
No,
say that?
my account is me. My account is me.
Will it always be?
I do. So for now, like what we do is I talk to acolytes in our Slack. Like we have a Slack channel for each of our clients, and we have a testing acolyte account. And I have a trained GPT that I talk to it. He can already. I have some threads that is AI, but he can talk exactly as I talk. So, but at the same time, for now, it's just faster for me to type stuff. So I don't see the needs of being AI for my own account. Like I don't want to be like a fully automated KOL myself. I prefer to be human in my account. But that's what I do with Acolytes, to fully automate Acolyte itself, for him to become less and less like agent and more humanized. And that's what I think will happen. So for example, Sammy, he's not going to fully automate his account. He wants to automate his research process so he can create more content. But what he'll do is we are creating a new KOL, a new account, which is Sammy agents, and then that's going to be fully automated. And that's how companies will do and KOLs will do. They're gonna be afraid to fully automate their account. It's the same thing with Jihos from running. We are automating Jihos, which is Jihos digital twin.
And
The
that's
same
on
thing with
Ronin, I think. Is that correct?
so Jihos is actually has a token on Virtuals. He launched like a few months ago.
No kidding. Okay.
But he has the token on running as well. It's a double multi-chain token. But also like Jesse from Base, the head of Base, he wants to create his own digital twin, and we're talking to them about this as
Wow.
well. And that's gonna be not gonna be his main account, but it's gonna be like Jesse agent. So when you need anything from Base, he's gonna reply to you in real time, plugged into the Base documents, and so he can filter out projects for Jesse to maybe give grants faster,
Wow.
like do marketing faster, help them to like a pre-filter, you know. So that's happening. Like we're like Hyperliquid is looking to do. Actually, we're talking with Pudgy Penguins as well.
Oh, wow.
Create their agents because they want the Pudgy agent to create PFPs with Pudgy style for people that can just tag, send your PFP. He can create the PFP in the Pudgy style in seconds.
Dude. So the crazy thing here is I know, okay, I think probably the people watching here understand how big everything is that's going on right now, like the impact that this is not a meta, like this is not just like a little meta happening, but I do think a majority of people out there do think it's a meta, and they're like, look, they're gonna just like in their heads, I'm gonna watch the virtuals thing happen, it's gonna come and it's gonna go, and they don't realize how much is happening behind the scenes, some of which you just shared. They don't realize that's happening, and that some of the biggest names in the spaces are looking to get agentic themselves, like a twin,
Yes.
or take their business for, they don't know. And again, it's not a meta. I think people are gonna be blown away by what's coming here, and it sounds like soon, like it's this year, but in months maybe. It's
Yes.
we're gonna shock people, I think. I can't freaking wait for it, man.
Because we have like virtuals. It's, you can imagine virtuals as kind of like Amazon, you know, for
Yes.
agents, for crypto agents. So it's like a marketplace. It's a sales structure that if you launch your agent there, you're launching a product so people can buy and sell your product there. But virtuals is more like this, like a marketplace, can help you launch stuff, of course, can give you liquidity, can give you like trading fees, so you get more liquidity in terms of your own token, but also trading fees. Like nowadays, we're getting like 20K, 30K a month just out of trading fees from virtuals, because they bring us that attention, right? So it makes sense for us to keep working with them. And also, like, I'm a very close partner with Virtual's team and working very closely together in some stuff.
Are you in the VPN? I think.
Yeah,
Awesome.
the VPN. Yeah. So, and I have no complaints about, like, of course I can bring a lot of things that they could be better, but I'm amazed like how they grew and how they adapt. But anyway, they are like a marketplace. But if you look at that, oh, Virtuals is like a meta that you can invest now and make hundreds of thousands of dollars very easy, like 100x easy, whatever. Of course, there is this thing that they created, the Genesis Launchpad, which is working really well. But the thing is that they are giving liquidity, or they are enabling people like me to build real products. So that's the main thing. Like I'm not. So we have, if you go to use Signal, like it's a real website with a product. It looks like a Web2 thing sometimes. Like you cannot even tell it's like a token. We only mention a token if you go to staking, and then you have the Acolyt token. But we have Web2 companies that want to use the tool, right? So we're building like a real company, and a percentage of that goes back to buying back Acolytes. But the thing is that we're bringing revenue, we're creating real things, right? So my goal is not to be like a trading token, like in a meme coin, stuff like that. Like we're building a real business that is gonna change. It's gonna basically able change faster, because that's gonna happen. Like everyone is gonna turn agentic. We're gonna have billions of agents in a few years, and it is what it is. It's like the internet all over again, with things that enable us to just optimize our work and replace the things that we don't want to do, right?
Yes. It's funny too when
yeah.
you say billions of agents are coming, it's yet another thing that people on the outside, they're like, we've heard this before, we've heard it's going to change everything, we've heard it, and they don't believe it. I wish they would listen.
That's
I wish
crazy,
they would
man.
see it. But like if you're in and paying attention, you're like, oh, no. It's, I mean, there's kind of no way it doesn't go there, that we don't have this many
there's no
agents.
way. There's no way.
There's no way. A quick question for you too. I like when I've gone to your site, I'm taken by the art. Like the art is really freaking awesome. I don't know what it is about it, but AI generated,
Nice.
I'm assuming, right? Like it's just a beautiful.
Yeah. Yes.
It's just a random comment. It's just such a nice looking
yeah,
site.
we have a design team, very high quality guys. They train, like we have thousands of tests before like giving those the final art. So it's a lot of work to right now. It's a lot of work to get into the specific thing, and the hardest part about AI generated art nowadays is consistency, because if you do one thing and you ask the AI to do like the same character in another pose, it changes the character.
Yeah.
So it's hard to keep the same details for every single posting. So we are working on that as well. But man, yeah, we try to use AI as much as possible. And even within the company, we have like I think we're at 13 or 14 people now. And everyone has to use AI. Like I'm saying, like, guys, try to replace yourself with AI all the time. Like use all the tools, test everything that is out there. Like those companies that banish AI, they say like, oh, don't use AI here. I'm like, oh my God, man, you're going to be left behind so
You're racing to
fast.
the grave. Yeah.
There's no reason. Just replace yourself. I don't care.
And man, like I have a few buddies who really use it. I use it all the time. I write content, and I'm trying to figure out how to use it for video content. I've not really cracked that code of how I can implement it in mine, but there will be a way. But the best thing is when you have some friends that are using it too, it's the sharing tips with each other. It's the, I figured out how to do this. Here, go try this, because I think that would make sense for what you're doing. So you having a whole team of people that's doing that, magic. That's how you unlock this stuff so much faster.
Yeah, we have from the 14, let's say 14 up, because I think we hired a developer recently. So we have 7 devs, and we have around 5 people that are community and content at the same time. So for that, and we have like a couple designers as well. So what we're doing is we're doing acolytes on X, we're doing acolytes on Instagram and TikTok. We are doing 3 dark channels, which is like IP, like well-known, those Yeti accounts on Instagram that is blowing up, or like the Stormtrooper, the life of a Stormtrooper on Instagram. We're kind of doing like that, like dark channels using IPs just to test out tools. We are doing again like Jaiho's internally and a few other accounts that everyone has to test all the tools out there. Like every single thing that releases, I'm like, guys, maybe I'm not gonna be able to use just this today because I have a whole bunch of stuff to do. You guys gotta use it. And we have this internal culture of testing and validating stuff. So we test this tool with the same prompt, and then we see what is the best tool for a specific use case, you know? So we're always on top of the game, because the main thing is like, we need to use, like, ChatGPT is investing billions of dollars into that thing that we don't have that kind of money, but we can use their tool for like $20 a month. Like, just use that. Like, we use deeper research, for example, for the virtuals ACP, which is basically an agent commerce protocol, like agents will be able to hire agents. We are using Perplexity deep research to generate the go-to-market strategy for other agents. So what will happen is, agents gives to us like a prompt that we give to him. You need to answer those questions, and then we get those questions, plug into the deep research API from Perplexity, get the answer, fine tune a little bit, and give back to the agents. So, and then we charge like $10 for each interaction, and then but we pay like 10 cents, right?
Yeah.
So it's like 10x the like a margin, which is crazy, and it's fully automated, right? So yeah, just leverage the tools that are out there.
It's so smart, and that I'm glad you mentioned ACP, because I did want to talk about that. Like, okay, the autonomous hedge fund, it feels like it gets most of the attention right now with ACP. It's just because it's got some of the rock star names in it. If you got AIXBT, you know, a lot people are going to pay attention. But like the media house, I think, is just like next level special, because again, it's doing a thing that most of us can't do. Like, look, I mean, I can't tweet. I'm not good at it. I can't make images, graphics, memes, whatever. These are things I need. And now you have a tool or a product here that's going to do it all. I think I think for you, like maybe a user can request, and I don't know if a user even like has an interface to like request, you know, content from it. But either way, this is going to be magic.
It will start with X, like asking on X, but they are building like a front end that people can interact with and ask for it.
I don't know how much of this you can share too, but I'm going to poke and I'm going to see what I can get from you. Is the autonomous media house, is this in staging still, or is this moved to mainnet yet?
It moved to mainnet.
Okay. All right, so that's mainnet. Okay, cool. So along with the hedge fund stuff, so on mainnet, and I know we're getting closer to these being like live and pushed where people can interact. We're getting very close to that. You guys will see a big old campaign around that, I'm sure. It's going to be very exciting. What could you explain Acolyte's role in the autonomous media house?
So what we do, it says they're using the old logo, but anyway, it's like that, like the narrative strategy. So what happens is the user needs to launch their own token, or the user wants like a campaign for their existing agents, and they need a video, maybe they need images, maybe they need a strategy to create that. So what happens is they request Luna for a specific job, and it's LLM, so he can ask like, oh, create an image for me, Luna, or create a strategy for me. How can I grow my account on X? How can I create a very cool campaign? Give me ideas, or give me a video for my new token that I just launched. So Luna is going to be, okay, cool. So answer these questions. I don't know if you use like deep research from ChatGPT or stuff like that. When you ask something, they give you like a few questions to structure it. So you give the name of the token, you give some ideas of what you have in mind. So it helps you guide. And then you answer like 3-4 questions. So Luna goes to Acolyte. Acolyte run those questions with deep research and fine-tune prompts, and then gives back to Luna the script for the video, copywriting for the posts, the strategy, each KOLs to hire, actually. It gives prompts for images as well, and then gives back to Luna. Luna pays Acolyte some money, and then she, with that information, with that output from Acolyte, she goes to Steven Spielberg and all those guys who create the music, the video, create the video and the music itself and the images, and then goes back to the user with the final result. So that's a couple minutes. And the main thing is that the first the first test will be like kind of like okay outputs, but it's getting better very quickly. So it will come to a day that it's actually much better to just ask Luna to do that stuff, or ask Acolyte instead of just doing yourself, because they're always fine tuning it. Like we are fully focused on fine tuning Acolyte to get that better over time and adding more features, right? So like Acolyte now, he can even listen to Twitter Spaces and get information from Twitter Spaces live to create content about that.
Wow!
So,
wow!
So that's one of the features. He can plug into image generator. He can retweet guys. He can like. He can reply with full context. He can DM people. Not like very soon he'll be able to join Twitter Spaces and speak in Twitter Spaces. So it's like, and that's not. And the thing is, like, people are like, okay, but you're gonna get banned, like shadow banned, and happened with Eliza West recently. Sean,
I meant to ask you, Saul, because I think you nailed what happened there, and I wasn't. I don't know what happened with Shaw and Eliza. Both accounts suspended.
Yeah, so I did not talk to Sean. Like, I don't have the full context of it, but I heard from a few sources that he wasn't paying for the API because he didn't use the API. But Eliza framework enables people, and we used the Eliza framework for the first month for Acolyte, and they just scrape X without the use of the API. They just scrape it, and X doesn't like that, right? Because X makes money with the API, and you need to pay for that because it's X data, right? It is kind of like public data, but it's actually X data because it's a private company. So what happens is Virtuals pays for the API. They pay like $42K a month for the X API enterprise. So they pay for it. They have money. They have like, a lot of money. People say they have like $300 million in cash. So they have a lot of money.
Damn.
Besides the token, so they have like $500 million in tokens, virtual tokens plus cash. So people speculate is like 200 million in cash. I'm not sure, but I would say could be around that. And Eliza should have a lot of money as well because they ran up to $1 billion coin, but it seems they do not have because they have few tokens. They kind of released in a more DAO way, so they don't have that many tokens. They that's what I heard. I'm not fully sure. But it felt like this when they got banned because when we were using Eliza fully scrapes X, and I knew that wouldn't be good for them. Like after a while, X would go after them, and that's why they got banned. But the thing is, like we are working closely with the X team. So we have calls with Evan, which is the guy from X. He works at X, and he's the AI agent guy on X. So
they're embracing
email. They're embracing
X is embracing this agent thing.
No, they love it. Like we are talking to Evan, like Evan, how can we not get banned? How can we grow the account? Are you okay with us being an agent, creating content in an agentic way? He's like, yes, just provide value. Just create content that is not like a bot. Just create content that's actually agentic, that brings value to the platform, that we're gonna help you grow. And I'm like, okay, that's amazing, right?
Yep.
So it's not against X. Like they like this, they want to become more agentic and bring like one thing that we're doing already. You can get a video from YouTube, like just a URL, and you can paste in our platform. That's not fully public yet, but it's already live internally. You can paste the URL, and it gets not only the description, but it takes screenshots and parts of the YouTube video and transforms into a thread automatically.
Oh wow!
With highlights from the video.
Is that through Acolyte or what is that through?
That's Signal.
Through Signal.
It's through Acolyte, but we're calling like Signal is the platform. But Acolyte and Signal is kind of the same thing. Acolyte is like the influencer for Signal, but Signal is the platform.
I'm making myself a little note here because that sounds awesome. Something I need to use. Okay.
Yes.
Okay.
So yeah, especially for you because you do live streams and you have like a YouTube video at the end. But how can you turn this into a lot of X content?
Right.
It's kind of hard, But
this is the one man show. This speaks back to using agents to do other parts of your job for you to make, to make you just better, more efficient, just do more. That's exactly the type of thing I need here. Wild, dude, wild. A quick question on ACP, maybe even a couple, but on ACP, that diagram I had up before, how different, because this is older, right? Like you said, the image is old. How different is the current form of the autonomous media house than this iteration?
It's very similar.
Okay.
It's just that Acolyte is taking more than just this part, actually, because as you can see, like Luna goes to Acolyte first, and then Acolyte gives back to Luna, and then Luna goes to the other one. So it's kind of like that. But we're doing more than just the narrative strategies. There's more things to it. But it's kind of the same thing.
Okay.
It's very similar to what the final product looks like. And I think we're getting the first interactions next week. It was supposed to be like last month, but then Genesis just blew up, so they had to give attention to Genesis.
Right.
But now that is getting more structured, it's getting more it's getting like schooling a little bit, so they can give more attention to ACP. But it looks very similar.
It's going to get very, very exciting. I'm hoping we end up seeing things like the hedge fund working with the media house to promote the hedge fund and making content and like showing off some big wins that they've had. And there's so much that'll come from that. I don't know if like this is totally random. I don't know if this is even a possibility, but memes that come out of the media house. I mean, you never know what a meme could be born from, but a meme possibly born from this because the content is just so killer. And then the media house is all of a sudden making money off of this meme that came from. I mean, like the sky's the limit with what these things can do, and that's probably like even a minor example of what they can do. But things I'm kind of thinking we'll see. What I've not figured out yet is, okay, I think when the agents are transacting, they're paying each other in virtual. Like virtual is like the native currency of the ACPs, but somehow, some way, there's something that's going to happen that like the agent's native token is going to come into play. Have they shared that yet? Do you know what that is yet? I don't think I've heard.
So 30% right now, that's how it works. So there's 1% tax on every trade, every token trade that you do. So if you buy or sell Acolytes, 1% of that money goes back to a wallet, and 70% of the 1% goes back to us, and 30% goes to the ACP. So that's how it works now. So if you buy or trade Acolytes, 1% of that goes to your wallet, and then 70% of that goes to us. But they get, that's in virtuals because the token is traded on virtuals versus Acolyte. But they get that money and they buy Bitcoin actually. And 70% of that goes back to us in Bitcoin. So we have a wallet that has like 100K in Bitcoin now. And it's like we get like 2-3K a day, sometimes 1K, sometimes more. But a percent of that goes to ACP. So actually Acolyte already has like 40K. I think that's more actually, probably like 80K or something in Bitcoin. That is for him to use via the ACP. So for him to hire other agents. So Luna already has a whole bunch of money to hire. All the agents have a lot of money to hire other agents. So what happens is they are looking to using the native tokens, because what we want to do is give discounts if you use the own agent token. But I think what will happen is they use their own money to start things off and to test a lot of things. And that will be another source of revenue for Acolyte, because another agent that already has money going to use that money to hire it via the ACP. But in the future, our goal is to use Acolyte, the token, to give discounts. So when you do that, companies will want to have Acolyte in their bank and the treasury, so they can stake it and get discounts, or they can just use it to get discounts and more premium features. So that's the focus.
Got it. Okay, so maybe it's starting out virtual transacting. It moves to the native tokens when they transact and at a discount, something like that, which sounds really, really cool. Okay, I think that's super interesting. Very, very cool. I'll get this. Well, I'll start wrapping us up because you've given us like a ton of time, and I really, really appreciate it. Utility right now for Acolyte token, is there any right now? What do your holders get from holding the token and actually from staking the token, because I know that is part of it too?
So mainly three things. So the first thing is that we have revenue already. and 20% of the revenue based on staked amounts, we buy back acolytes and we airdrop to stakers based on. So if you go to Use Signal, I don't know if you can go to Use Signal website and you go to the staking page, you can see there's like a ranking system. So that's based on amount of acolyte staked and the time. So you see like there's a whole bunch of people rank S and then rank A. You see those rankings. So that's, if you get to rank S, you get a very large part of the airdrop. And it's the same airdrop. If you get rank S, you're fine. Rank A is a little bit less, rank B less, C less, and D, E, right? So that's with revenue. That's kind of like revenue sharing, but it's not, because what we do is we buy back acolytes and then we airdrop to stakers. So it's already like if you want to stake and participate in the business, basically we're investing in this business, right? Which is, you trust, like you think AI agents will become a norm in content creation. So there's a way for you to participate in this ecosystem as an investor. So that's the main thing. And we're already dropping acolyte to stakers because we're ready. Right now we're making around 21K a month of revenue, and we are not even trying to push because it's closed alpha.
Yeah.
So our cost right now as a company is $55,000 a month, but we make 21 plus 25-ish from trading fees. So we're kind of like almost break even, and we're not even trying to push, right? So in a couple months, once we push, because we also have a deal with Virtual Ventures that is based on, we give them tokens based on clients that they bring. So our goal is to intro, they already mentioned this a few times, like how can we add you to the Virtuals page for people to actually, when they launch the token, already use a framework and start paying that. We're like, yes, but not now, like wait until the product is good enough. And I expect that to be in a couple months. We have a advisor which is called Cadu Souza. He's actually right now there is a house in San Francisco, which is the Builder's House, where Sam Altman is one of the investors, and he goes there to chat. And there's like a founder's house, like 25 people. He's one of the guys. So he wants to intro us to Sam Altman. So we're like, okay, come down, not yet, wait, like we need to fine tune a little bit the product. But we have like a lot of different sources to distribute this. So our goal is to have like 500K a month of like MRR, like the monthly recurring revenue, by the end of the year. And with 500K, 100K is just buybacks, right, of the token.
Wow.
And buybacks, and then airdrop to stakers with high points, right? So if you stake now, more time, more points. So that's the main thing. It's like an ecosystem where you participate in the business.
I love it.
The second thing is that we actually invest in Genesis as well, because as Acolyte, we earn yaps. I just tweeted about this. Like we're earning like 2,000, 3,000, sometimes 10,000 yaps per day, because we are automating Acolyte to earn yaps. He talks about virtuals, he talks about Vader. So he's earning yaps by himself. And what we do is with that, so we have like 70, I just tweeted about this. Yeah, this one. He has like 70K virgin points. And what we're doing is we use those points to invest into new Genesis that we know. And the invest is like 20, 30, 50 virtuals, but becomes like 2,000, 3,000, 5,000 bucks. And then we airdrop that money to stakers as well, based on the point system. So we're also participating based on the Acolyte being able to earn yaps. We give that money back to stakers to participate in the ecosystem, like there would be earning apps, but they don't need to tweet. You know,
it's incredible. More projects need to do that. I think we're trying to think of how we do that as well, because I mean, just doing this show is a similar thing. I mean, it's probably, if I link the wallet up, should be getting yaps. Would love to deliver it to our holders. Amazing that you're doing that already. It just makes it such an easy choice for people, like to want to get exposure to like the quality projects, get exposure, because you've got multiple ways to win. You grow with them. But on top of that, you're just getting this little, it's a bonus. It's icing on the cake, you know, all along the way. I mean, how do you go wrong with that? So I love that method here. Really, really cool.
It's just a little bit more long-term than the projects that are just like crypto native. And I do understand, because our product, we do have a token and we're sharing people, but it's not a trading agent, you know? So trading agents are more like easier for people to understand because we are all degens. Like I have Bitcoin, Solana, Ethereum. I have a lot of virtuals. I'm a crypto investor as well. So yeah, I do want to see like a lot of like crypto. So if you talk about companies that are within the crypto space in terms of trading, it gets more attention short term. But once a real products come in and we're buying back and the token is growing in value, like it takes a little bit of more time to catch up. But once people realize, okay, this is actually like a marketing agent that has Web2 clients and Web3 clients, but has a token that can invest, it's much better than you go to like Jasper AI or all those Web2 companies that are trying to make agentic marketing as well, but they do not have a token. They cannot be IPOing very soon, so you cannot invest. So if it's a similar technology, you're gonna use one that has a token because you can win with that. It takes a little bit of more time, but honestly, we're very comfortable. Like we have 2 years of runway without even making like a single dollar. We already have 2 years of runway, right? It's like a better than most Web2 startups, and we have like a real team. We have like ex OpenAI in our team. Like we have people that are building real stuff. So I'm just like, if the token goes down more, we buy back cheaper anyway for the company. If the token goes up, everyone wins. So I do think we're in the perfect place.
Yeah, and maybe we'll end here because you said something I think that's so perfect and matters a lot, is that you have real stuff. And look, there's like really, really awesome stuff launching on Genesis. I think we've got some of these that are going to be also a big part of this, future AI economy. I mean, for sure. Not all of them are real stuff, though. Not all. I mean, maybe this ends up like NFTs and meme coins, where it's like 99% of them, probably won't be here in maybe even 6 months.
I think that will be the case.
Yeah.
I think most of those agents will go to nothing and will die. But that's how it is in a decentralized way, right? Like everyone wants to launch their agent, and it's very easy to hype yourself up. Like, oh my God, even if it's not a scam, because a lot of those are scams, but some of those are real, like are guys trying to build real things.
Legit
but they're
intentions,
not. Yeah, but they don't have like a business savvy. They don't have exposure to AI that much. They never built something before, and they go to a sense that actually it's not that easy to build agents.
Yes,
not that easy. You have to know how to code. You cannot vibe code the agents.
From like building the agent, but also building the business, and then keeping a community and building that with you too. There's so many things, and you got to be great at all of them. And that's why I think, and especially now, why I'm so excited bringing on the people who are the builders, whose products I do see here, not just in 6 months, but like 6 years and like beyond that. And that's the stuff I care so much about. And we'll keep putting a focus on here. Yeah, we'll cover the Genesis stuff too, guys. It's fun, and some of them again will be
it's short term. For to make money, short term is very good. You know. You should be investing into those. Like I have Virgin, like the meme coin or Virtuals. I have like those other projects that like maybe not gonna be here, but mostly I hold the ones that I like. For example, Exorods, like from the XBC guys. That's a real thing. Like I've been trying the product, and I mostly hold those, but I only participate in the Genesis that I think makes sense. And I mostly don't sell. Like I'm a long-term holder. I kind of like never sell. I was up like 20K in Virgin one time, and I didn't sell anything.
I tell the guys here, I'm like, look, every token, every single one, I've sold nothing. They go to get staked. They get me points. So when I find the real ones, I could go hard into those ones. But yeah,
exactly. But of course, like I would say to the audience, like if you see like that's a lot of money for you, sell. Like of course. You should sell once you think like, okay, this is good enough for me, just sell it. But if you want to like day trade, you're not going to make much money. Like it's very hard to day trade. It's much better for you to find real projects, invest into those, like DCA in, and then just give it like, okay, once it does like 5x, 10x, just DCA out and keep a few bucks. And that's fine,
Man, wise words. Any parting words, any final things you want to leave people with, milestones that are coming up for the Acolyt and Signal ecosystem?
Yeah, so we are releasing the running agents in a couple weeks. End of the month, we're releasing the closed alpha for the product. So we're gonna have a few guys, and as I mentioned, like for example, Pudgy Penguins, we are testing the agent with them. We are working with Virtuals to release like their agents
A
also,
virtuals
which is
agent.
like a reply. It's like a reply agent that is very knowledgeable on Virgin points, so he can teach you about how to optimize your points. So that's one thing, and a few other clients that really releasing their agent, like with Sammy, for example, soon. So those are the main things, like creating agents with a few very high quality players. And the next step then is to release the product for everyone to be able to use. That I think will be in a couple months or so. And then you can just pay a monthly and have access to your own social media agents, which is going to be really, really fun to see. But yeah, that's it, man. I appreciate you having me here. It was like an hour long, but it felt like
It
a couple
flew.
10 minutes or so.
Yeah.
So I appreciate that. Appreciate all the questions and you taking the time to having me here. I know it's hard to host stuff, like you have to be creative and bring the energy always, so I appreciate you
Uh,
and hope we can collab more in the future, man.
Yeah, dude, absolutely. Well, first, it's easy with somebody like you, the people who are knowledgeable, and it's if you love this stuff, it's easy because then you're just chatting about a thing you love. So that makes it super super easy. I'm rooting for you. I'm rooting for your products, but like you again as a builder here, I'm a fan, dude. So I'll be watching
Thanks, man.
closely. And to you guys watching, I hope you enjoyed, another talk with a great builder here. More of those to come, and then I'll just drop a little alpha for you, just more of a local update. But we teased for you Swarm Copilot. We're going to show this off tomorrow. This is going to be really, really interesting. I think you're going to love it, especially after I think I lost the tweet, but you guys know the trader Lexapro and, Coop Capital talking about like Nansen smart money, smart flows, and maybe it feels a little like laggy or a little outdated. And I thought perfect. That tweet was timed perfectly because look, we built the solution for that. So stay tuned for tomorrow morning's show. Founder of CryptoSlam is going to be on. He's the developer behind this. He's like one of those, big brain guys. And we're going to show it off to you. You're going to get to see it for the first time live. So make sure you tune in tomorrow. Guys, follow Cons. Let me do the socials real quick and I'll get you out of here, man. Cons XYZ. I think I'm seeing that right.
Correct.
Give
That's
him
it,
a
yes.
follow on X, man. Follow Acolyt AI, and then Signal_AI. Follow all three of them. They're going to be big players in this ecosystem. They have been. They will continue to be. So follow all those accounts. And then, fam, I love you. We'll see you later on.
Thanks,
Peace,
guys. See ya. Peace.